your back and your head. But if you want to take a block underneath your upper thoracic and kind of cactus arms, you can. You could take a supported bridge pose, or you can just come to lie on your back, however is comfortable for you. And I invite you to take some sort of a chest opener, so maybe just bringing those arms out to like a goalpost or a cactus position. And then taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then big open mouth exhale. One more just like that. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And a nice big open mouth exhale. And start to breathe in and out through the nose. Feeling free to invite Ujjayi Pranayama if that's something that you like to practice. Or just settling into your comfortable rhythm of breathing. Knowing that the breath is the metronome for your practice, and when things get either challenging or tiring, just come back to the pace of your breath and let that calm you. If you want to set an intention or a focus for your practice, feel free to go ahead and do that now. Got a block underneath your hips, take it out, and we'll all come to lying on the back with the knees bent as if you're going to come into a bridge pose. Take the hands down by the sides. As you inhale, you're going to lift the hips up towards the sky and sweep the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you're just going to roll down the spine and bring the hands back down by the sides of the body. Inhale, think of peeling the spine off segment by segment as you lift the hips and the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, slowly roll everything back down. Arms float down towards the hips. And we'll take a few more here, just doing some nice bridge breathing. Feeling as your arms come up and overhead, you're able to get a little bit more breath down into the bottoms of your lungs. Coming back onto your back, you're going to squeeze the knees in towards the chest. And then keep a hold of the right knee, send the left leg long on the mat. Take the right arm out to the side and then just draw the right knee over towards the left, coming into a gentle spinal twist. Maybe the gaze comes out over the right hand. Draw yourself back through center. Start to straighten out through that leg, grabbing anywhere behind the leg, the calf, the hamstring, the ankle. And feel free to take some circles with the ankle, maybe point and flex. And then draw that right knee in towards the chest. Keep a hold of the shin. You're going to draw the whole shin over towards the right and then up towards the shoulders. So almost as if you're trying to hug that thigh to the outside of the rib cage. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in through your inner right thigh. See if you can ground down through your left side of your pelvis. It's going to want to lift up towards the sky. And draw that knee back through center, give it one final squeeze, and then release it to the floor. Hug the left knee in towards the chest, and take the right hand to the left knee, left arm off to the side as you draw that left knee across the body, coming into a gentle twist. Maybe the gaze comes over towards the left hand. Draw that knee back in through center. Start to straighten out through the leg, taking a hold behind the leg wherever works for you. Playing with the point and flex movement of the ankle. And bending the knee, drawing it in towards the chest, and then drawing that leg out to the side, and then thinking of drawing the knee up in towards the left armpit, gently grounding down through the right side of the pelvis, maybe even taking your hand to the front of the hip to help ground it down into the floor. And then slowly release it back to center. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. And then give it a little bit of a rock from side to side, releasing through the lower back. And then either rolling to one side or rolling along the length of your spine, you're going to make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, right hand off to the right, sweep that left arm over. Inhale, draw yourself through center. Exhale, take it to the left. We're just going to flow from side to side. Inhale, bring yourself through center. Exhale, take it right. Inhale, bring it through center. Exhale, take it left. One more time each side. Inhale through center. Exhale. Inhale through center. Exhale. Inhale yourself through center. And then as you exhale, you're going to plant the hands, making your way into a tabletop position. We'll take a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop the belly, reach the sternum and the tailbone forward. And then as you exhale, press the floor away, scoop the belly. And you can take 4 more at your own pace. As always, feeling free to add in any other movements that you feel like you need. Maybe some hip circles or moving your hips from side to side. And then bring yourself back to a neutral spine. You're going to ground down through the left shin. Keep the right knee bent. As you inhale, come into a cow belly, but lift the foot up towards the sky as if you could touch the back of your head. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the spine, scoop the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, reach that foot up towards the sky, drop the belly. And then as you exhale, round it out. We'll take 3 more just like this. And on the third one, we're going to hold that leg up there. You can stay like this, or you can take the left hand, reach it back for the inside edge of the right foot. And if you get a hold of the foot, you're gently kicking towards the back of the room to open the front of the left shoulder. Take 1 more breath. And then exhale, release everything down towards the floor. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So as you inhale, drop the belly, reach that left foot to the sky. And then as you exhale, round everything out, knee to nose. Inhale, foot to the sky, reach the sternum forward. Exhale, round it out. And take 3 more here. Take that left leg up behind you. Stay here with the leg bent, or reach that right hand back to the inside edge of the left foot, maybe giving a gentle kick towards the back of the room. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly release everything to the floor. You're going to kick the right foot off the edge of your mat, and then you're going to come to rotate so that you're standing on your right shin and your right hand. The left arm will reach up towards the sky on your inhale, and then sweep it towards the front of the room on your exhale, getting a nice full body, side body stretch rather. You can stay here, or you can start to float that left leg up to the height of the hip. Or you can start to bend the left leg, and just like we did in tabletop, you can reach back for the left foot with the left hand, giving a little bit of a gentle kick into that left foot, opening up through the front of the left hip and quad. And if you had a hold of the foot, inhale, everybody release it nice and long, sweep the left arm overhead. And then as you exhale, come back to your tabletop. Kick your left leg off the edge of your mat and start to rotate onto the left shin and hand, sweeping that right arm to the sky, and then reaching it up and overhead for a side body stretch. Feel free to stay here, or you can float that right leg. And feel free to stay there, or start to bend the right knee, reaching back for the foot, giving a gentle kick, opening up the shoulder. And think of rolling the front of that right shoulder towards the back body. And if you had a hold of the foot, as you inhale, release everything long. And then exhale, take it down to all fours. Keep the hips above the knees, and you're going to start to walk the hands forward any amount that's comfortable for you, and then start to sink the chest and the forehead down towards the mat. Think of gently drawing the hips towards the back of the room, and think of your hands being glued to the floor. You should feel a really nice stretch through the kind of armpit, side, shoulder, lat area. And if this is too intense, you can always come to a downward dog or a child's pose. Slowly start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck underneath the toes, send the hips back towards the heels, and start to straighten the legs, coming into your first downward dog. Take a few cycles of breath to take whatever movements you need to do in this pose. Then on your inhale, you're going to raise the right leg up behind you, start to bend the knee and open up the hip towards the sky. The right heel is coming towards the glute, and see if you can draw the right shoulder down towards the mat to get more of an opening through the hip. Inhale, square off the hips, straighten the leg, and then as you exhale, set it down. Inhale, sweep that left leg up behind you, start to bend the left knee, send the heel towards the glute and open up through the hip, and then think of gently drawing that left shoulder down in line with the right shoulder. As you inhale, slowly release that left leg long. Exhale, set it down. Start to walk the feet up towards the backs of the wrists. We have a visitor. And then come into ragdoll, taking opposite hand to opposite elbow, just letting it sway from side to side. And And then let the arms fall heavy towards the mat. Gentle bend in the knees. Start to stack the spine as you roll yourself all the way up to standing. And come to standing Tadasana. Make your way to the top of the mat. We'll take a couple of sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right leg back, lower the knee, shine the chest forward. Exhale, plant the hands, plank or tabletop. Hold the breath, lower the knees, the chest and the forehead. Inhale, peel up, baby cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right leg forward, lower the left knee, reach the chest forward. Exhale, fold forward at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step the left leg back. You can always go straight to downward dog from here if you want to. Exhale, plank or tabletop. Hold the breath, lower knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg steps, drop the right knee. Exhale, fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take the right leg back, drop the knee. Exhale, plant the hands, plank or tabletop. Hold the breath, lower knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, peel up, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step the right leg forward, drop the left knee. You can always use your hands to get the foot up. Exhale, fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, circle sweep arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step left leg, drop the knee. Exhale, plank or tabletop. Hold the breath, lower knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg steps, drop right knee. Exhale, fold at the top. Inhale, sweep the arms. One more time each side. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg steps. Exhale, plank or table. Hold the breath as you lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to dog. Inhale, right leg steps. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Last time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg steps. Exhale, plank or table. Hold the breath as you lower it. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, dog. Inhale, left leg steps. Exhale, fold at the top. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then this time as you exhale, you're going to interlace the hands behind the back. And then spread the collarbones nice and wide as we come into a gentle back bend. If this doesn't work, you can always take opposite hands to opposite elbows, or you can come into cactus arms. And imagine that someone's got their fist in between your shoulder blades, and that's the part of your spine that you're bending from. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, if you can, keep the interlace, start to fold forward over the legs. If it's not comfortable for you to reach the hands up and overhead, keep them at the lower back. And if your fingers are interlaced, see if you can think of working the palms towards each other, opening up the fronts of the shoulders. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, release the hands down towards the floor. Inhale, come into your halfway lift and lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, we're going to step the right leg back. Double up your mat if you need to. We're coming to kneel on the back knee. As you inhale, you're going to sweep the arms up and overhead for Anjaneyasana. Think of the left hip drawing forward. And if it helps, you can take the right hand to the belly, the left hand to the sacrum, and think of the right hand moving up, the left hand moving down, and you should feel that really start to increase that stretch in through the front of the left hip. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to take the hands to the top of the mat, untuck the back toe, step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step the left leg back, lower the back knee, and we're doing exactly the same thing. So untuck your toes, and then as you inhale, raise the hands up and overhead, maybe making that little adjustment if you found that it helped. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your hands to your hips and you're just going to step that right shin back to meet the left. So feeling free to double up your mat as always. We're going to take a baby camel. So put your hands on your lower back as if you're putting them into your jeans pockets. Roll the shoulder blades back onto the back, and then as you inhale, you're going to start to lift the chest towards the sky. So as opposed to just thinking of just like pitching yourself backwards, think of someone drawing a string from your sternum and lifting you up, and then start to go backwards. If you feel this in your lower back, I want you to think of pressing the hands down towards the ground a little bit more to lengthen through the lower spine. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly upright yourself. Take the hands down towards the mat and then lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. So we're going to take some rolling cobras, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows by the sides of the ribs. As you inhale, think of peeling the chest up and off the mat. And then as you exhale, you're just going to peel it back down. Inhale, lead with the sternum, the back of the neck stays long. Exhale, roll it down. And we'll take 3 more just like this. If you're feeling it in your lower back, I want you to think of pressing the front of your pelvis down into the floor to lengthen through the lower spine. And then come all the way down onto the mat. We did this one yesterday. You're going to take your fingers off to the sides of the mat, elbows up towards the ceiling. Inhale, peel the chest up, and then as you exhale, start to drop that right shoulder towards the floor as you look out over towards the left. Inhale, peel yourself back up through center, and then as you exhale, you're just going to take it over towards the other side. Inhale, peel yourself up through center, and then as you exhale, roll it all the way down. Hands underneath the shoulders, and you're going to make your way back to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. then as you inhale, you're going to sweep that right leg up towards the sky. Open up through the hip. This is where we start to up level if you want to. You can stay here, or you can start to float that right foot towards the floor, taking the right hand off and flipping your dog. Totally just an option. It's a really, really nice chest opener. And if you flipped yourself, you're going to make your way back into your downward dog. As you inhale, sweep that left leg up, open up through the hip. Same thing, you can feel free to stay here, or you can start to float that left foot towards the floor, taking the left hand off and coming into wild thing. If you flipped yourself, slowly make your way back to downward dog. Everybody 2 feet on the floor. And then we'll start to walk ourselves all the way up towards the top of the mat again. Inhale, come into your halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then engage the glutes as you exhale. You're going to cactus the arms, coming into a different variation of a chest opener. Think of lengthening through the back of your neck as opposed to just throwing your head back. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to interlace your hands the non-dominant way. So just move one finger over, so it's going to feel a little bit weird. Inhale, open up the chest again. And then as you exhale, fold it forward. This time you're going to bend through the right knee and start to send the fists over towards the right, looking towards the left. So you should feel a big stretch in through your left hamstring, and it should start to open up a bit more through that left shoulder. Inhale yourself back through center. And then as you exhale, start to bend the left knee, send the fists over towards the left, opening up through the right hamstring and shoulder. Inhale yourself through center. Exhale, slowly release the hands to the floor. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, we're going to step that right leg back again. Once again, feel free to double up your mat. We're lowering the knee. You can stay here in your Anjaneyasana, or you can start to bend through the right knee, either staying upright for the quad stretch or taking the left hand down for a little bit of support. Always feel free to have a block there. You can also come into a lizard lunge, coming all the way down if that feels like it's something that works better in your body. Wherever you are, we're slowly going to release and make our way all the way back up to a runner's lunge. So everybody lift up through the back knee, and then we're going to start to straighten out through the front leg, coming into an extended pyramid. If this doesn't work for you, you drop the back knee and then just straighten out through the front leg, coming into a half splits pose. Look towards the top of your mat. You're going to step that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Step that left leg back, pat it if you need to. Drop the knee, stay here, or bend your back leg with the front hand up or down, or come into your lizard lunge, lowering the hands on the inside of the right leg. And if you've got a hold of that back foot, slowly release it to the floor. And everybody's going to meet that right shin back with the left, coming first into tabletop and then walking the hands up towards the thighs. You can stay with the baby Ustrasana that we did before, opening up through the front of the chest, sending the fingers down towards the floor. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you'll start to walk the hands to the backs of the thighs. Once again, I want you to make sure you feel this in your upper back. The hips are staying over the knees. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, slowly bring yourself up. Keep the hips over the knees, and we're going to walk ourselves forward into that puppy pose again. And if this doesn't work, you're going to take a child's pose. You can stay here, or you can start to bend through the elbows, bringing the palms together and up and overhead like a little shark fin. And you should feel a really nice stretch through the backs of the triceps and down through the sides of the shoulders. You can always feel free to take your hands or elbows onto a block here as well if you want to. If you had your little shark fin, slowly release it. Ground down through the forearms, and we're just going to make our way into Sphinx Pose. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders, the forearms are parallel, and you're thinking of drawing the elbows back as you draw the chest forward. So this is a really nice upper back strengthener / opener. And you can feel free to stretch out your neck here as well if you want to take one ear to one shoulder. And then the other side. And then from here, you're going to lower all the way onto your belly. Bring your hands in a kind of like a crisscross position at the top of your mat to make like a little pillow. Bend your right knee, and then you're going to reach back through the inside or the outside of your right foot, whatever works for you. If I had straps, I would offer them to you. A t-shirt can work as well. And you're trying to keep your thigh on the mat as much as you can, and pressing your frontal hip points into the mat as you start to draw your heel towards your butt. You can hang out here if this is enough of a quad stretch for you. If you feel like you want more, you're going to prop yourself back up onto your forearms, parallel the left hand, reach for the inside of the right foot, and then you can start to rotate the fingers towards the top of the mat, getting a shoulder stretch and a nice deep hip stretch. And then we're all going to slowly release, and we'll take it to the other side. So we'll all start in the quad stretch, grounding down through the front of the pelvis, bending the left knee and taking a hold of the left foot, drawing it in towards the glute. And then you can decide if you want to stay here or if you want to prop up onto the forearms, parallel the right forearm to the short edge of the mat, grabbing a hold of the foot, maybe taking it from the inside, rotating around your thumb so that the elbow points to the sky and the fingers point to the front of the mat. This is a very brutal shoulder stretch. Can confirm. And then slowly release, and we're all going to press back into a child's pose to release the lower back. Big toes together, knees nice and wide. You can reach the hands in front of you, you can take them beside you, wherever feels the best for you. Just take a couple of nice deep breaths here, maybe an open mouth exhale. slowly making your way up into a tabletop position, making your way through a downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to walk yourself back up towards the top of the mat. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle sweep the arms all the way up and overhead. And then as you exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to come into a dancer's pose, or a variation of a dancer's pose. It is a balance pose, so if you know your balance needs assistance, feel free to take a wall. We're going to take the weight to the left foot, start to bend through the right knee, and just grab a hold of the right ankle. This might be where you stay, drawing the knees towards each other, thinking of lengthening through the tailbone and the spine, and this might be a really great place to hang out. If not, you're going to start to reach that left arm up, a gentle kick in towards the right hand. So as opposed to thinking of really dumping into your lower back and arching, I want you to think of lengthening the spine and using the back of your leg to lift it up towards the sky. So you should be able to take your hand away and still have pretty much the same amount of height in through the leg. And then we'll slowly bring it back to center and release that side, and we'll take it over towards the other side. So shift the weight to the right, grab a hold of the left ankle, and stay here, lengthening through the spine, drawing the knees together if this is a good place for you. Otherwise, take that right hand up and start to gently kick that foot into the hand. And once again, you can do yourself a little tester, see if you can take that hand away. If your foot drops a lot, it means that you're probably pulling too much on your shoulder by kicking into the hand. Bring yourself back through center, slowly release. Beautiful work. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift and lengthen. As you exhale, step the right leg back. You have the option to drop the knee, otherwise as you inhale, we're going to raise up into a crescent pose. And then as you exhale, you can take your choice of a chest opener. You could cactus the arms, or maybe you bring the hands to interlace behind you. If you're taking the hands to interlace, see if you can think of pressing the fist down into the back thigh and the back thigh up into the fists. And then as you inhale, you're going to bring it up through center. And then exhale, take the hands down, step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step the left leg back, option to drop the knee if you want to. Otherwise, as you inhale, we're going to raise up into our crescent pose. And once again, feeling free to take your chest opener, maybe cactusing the arms, or if you took the interlace, once again, move one finger over. See if you can get the thigh to press into the fist to press into the thigh. And on your next inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, take it forward, fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take a nice wide step on your mat, and your toes are going to point out towards the corners of your mat. And we're going to come into a goddess squat. So kind of like a sumo squat or a plie squat. Take a peek down at your knees. If your knees are doing this and you can see your big toes on the outsides of your knees, You want to see if you can get them so that you can see the big toes on the inside, even if that means you can't go as deep. You can hang out here or take the hands to the thighs, and just like we did on the floor, you're going to dip one shoulder towards the floor, opening up, giving a nice big twist into the spine. Inhale yourself through center, and then as you exhale, bring it over towards the other side. Inhale yourself through center, and exhale, straighten out the legs. We're going to come into triangle pose, so turn the right toes so that they're parallel with the long end of the mat, the back foot in. Inhale, sweep those arms up to shoulder height. And then as you exhale, like someone's pushing back at your right hip, you're going to start to hinge over that front leg, coming into your triangle pose. So from here, we have the option to go up into a balance for one last standing quad stretch. You can hang out here if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to take Tadasana. So you can take the right hand forward and come to balance on the right leg by stepping that left foot in. And then maybe you can start to bend through the left knee, drawing the heel towards the glute. And maybe you can reach that left hand back for the foot, just like we did in Dancer's Pose and all those other kind of bow poses that we've made today. You've got a hold of the foot, slowly release, and we'll step it back into our triangle for one final inhale. And then exhale, bring yourself all the way through center. We're just going to turn it around to the other side. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to hinge yourself forward, coming into your triangle pose. Knowing that you're more than welcome to hang out here. If you're going further, start to bend through the left leg. Take that left hand forward as you hop the right foot into float. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to bend the right leg, reaching back for the outside of the ankle with the right hand. And if you've got a hold of the foot, slowly release it, step that right foot all the way back. Take an inhale in your triangle pose. Exhale, come all the way to standing. Parallel the feet to the short edges of your mat. Interlace the fingers behind you. Inhale, nice big breath. And then as you exhale, start to fold it forward. If the interlace doesn't work for you, you can take the hands to the hips and think of drawing the elbows towards each other. And then slowly release the hands towards the floor. You're just going to pivot yourself towards the top of the mat, and then step yourself back into a downward facing dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Always feeling free to take a child's pose if you prefer. And then lowering the shins down to the floor, walking the hands back to meet the legs. Options again, you can stay with your baby camel. You can take the hands to the thighs, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe you can start to take the hands back towards the heels. You can always have the toes tucked under if that feels more available in your body. Only go as deep as what your energy levels are providing for you today. If your hands are on your heels, you're going to take one hand to the sacrum and then the other, and slowly start to draw yourself all the way up. And then everybody's going to take a sit down onto their heels and just give yourself a moment, maybe making a few little wiggles to release your lower back. Alright, so we're going to take Hero's Pose. So you might want a block to sit on. So you're going to take your knees together, and then you're going to take your feet a little bit wider. Take your calves and just kind of scooch them out of the way. And then you're going to sit the hips in between the heels, either onto your block or onto the floor. And if this is super, super uncomfortable on your knees, you're just going to come back to a seated position, seated with the shins parallel. You can hang out here, or you can start to take the hands back behind you and think of opening the chest, bending the elbows towards the back of the room. If that's going well, you can maybe start to take the forearms down to the floor. Think of lengthening the tailbone towards the opposite end of the mat to lengthen the lower back. You can stay there, or you can start to lay yourself all the way back, maybe bringing the hands up and overhead. We're going to hang out here for 3 more breaths, feeling free to come out of it whenever you need to. And then wherever you are, you're going to start to make your way back to upright. And then as gracefully as you can, you're going to make your way out of it. And then just give your feet a little bit of a tap to bring some blood flow back in towards the lower legs. And then we're going to make our way down onto our bellies for our last round of belly stretching back bends situations. So you're going to take your right forearm to a cactus position, left hand underneath the left shoulder, and then you're going to press the floor away with the left hand as you open up the chest towards the left. You should feel a nice big stretch in through the right side of your shoulder. Then roll yourself back down through center. Take the left arm to a cactus position, right hand underneath the right shoulder, and then start to push the floor away with that right hand, looking out towards the right. And then slowly coming back through center. All right, last pose here. You've got options. You can take a Cobra pose, you could take a locust pose, or if you want to, you can bend both knees, reaching back for the ankles, and then think of drawing the knees towards each other as you lift yourself up and away from the floor, coming into bow pose. So whatever variation is working for you is totally fine. We're going to hang out for 5 breaths. One more breath. And then slowly release it down towards the floor. Make a little cushion with your hand and just give the hips a little bit of a wiggle from side to side to let everything release. And then you're going to press the floor away. We're going to make our way onto our seat. So cross over at the ankles, scoot yourself forward and come into a seat. We're going to extend the legs nice and long out in front of us. Take as much of a bend in your knees as you need to, and feel free to sit on a block if you like. Inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, take a fold forward. So it's not going to be your deepest fold forward ever. We did quite a lot of back bending today. It's just to release through the lower spine. So a nice thing to do is think of almost using your feet as a little bit of an anchor and really arching out the spine like you do in your cat-cows, just pressing the back away from the feet. You should feel a nice stretch through the lower back. And then slowly release. You're going to bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, and then you're going to turn to face the right knee. Take the left hand either on top of the left shin or underneath as you sweep that right arm up and over, coming into the side stretch. Inhale, bring yourself up and through center. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. So bring the sole of the left foot in towards the right thigh. Turn yourself to face the left knee. Right hand goes where it needs to go. And then sweep that left arm up and over, coming into that side stretch. And always interesting to take note in your body if one side is a lot different to the other. Inhale, bring yourself up through center. And then we're going to take a seated figure four. So you're going to bend your left knee and then you're going to cross your right ankle over the left knee. If this doesn't work, you can always do exactly the same thing, but lying down on your back. And then you're going to walk your hands in any amount that works for you to feel a stretch in through your right hip. If this is doing absolutely nothing for you and you'd prefer to take a pigeon or a double pigeon or another hip opener, you can feel free to do that as well. We're going to slowly release that side, and then we're going to come into the other side. So if you took a different hip opener, you're just going to switch legs. We're going to uncross that leg and we're going to slowly roll ourselves all the way down onto our backs. And we're going to take one final bridge pose. So if you want to take a supported bridge by taking a block underneath your hips, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to cactus out the arms and just lift the hips up towards the sky. And we're going to hang out here for, I don't know, 5 to 10 breaths. So make yourself comfortable. you took a supported bridge, you're slowly going to start to take that block out from underneath you. Everybody roll the hips down towards the floor. And give the knees a hug in towards the chest. And then draw the knees together, take the arms off to capital T, and then we're just going to let the legs fall over towards the left. Gentle grounding down through that right shoulder. Maybe the gaze comes to the right. And if there's another twist that you would prefer to take, you can feel free. On your next inhale, start to draw yourself through center and then take it over towards the other side. Draw yourself back to center, give the knees a hug in towards the body. Maybe taking a happy baby if that's something that you want to take, or just hugging the knees in towards the chest, maybe rolling the nose up towards the knees. Taking this time to make any other movements that you feel like you need to make before you come into your Shavasana. And when you're ready, releasing yourself into your final resting position, whether that looks like just lying on the back with the arms and the legs taken wide. You can always bring the soles of the feet together or the soles of the feet to the floor and let the knees knock together. Or if it's better for your lower back, take a seat. Wherever you are, I invite you to turn the palms up towards the sky. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then let it all go through the mouth. slowly start to bring some movement back into your body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe reaching the arms up and overhead for full body stretch. And rolling yourself onto one side, taking a moment to rest. And as always, taking a moment of gratitude for yourself and your body, for showing up, for doing all these amazing things. And a moment of gratitude for somebody else or something else in your life that makes you happy or brings you joy, or that just makes your life a little bit easier. When you're ready, start to make your way up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed. We'll bring the hands together at the forehead. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts. To the mouth, may you have peace in your words. And to the heart, may you have peace within. Namaste.
Namaste.